NFL Week 14 is here with the Sunday slate. We bring in Hitman for our Saturday prop show to drop 2 official picks on this show today. And we're here on the Forward Progress YouTube channel, which is part of the Hammer Betting Network and presented by the Fanduel Sportsbook. More on the Fanduel Sportsbook a little bit later on in the show, but we'll go to Hitman. Firstly, a question to kind of lead us off here. We're at Week 14. We're well into the season. Do you think the player prop market becomes more difficult to beat or easier to beat as the season goes on?
It's more difficult, and it's not even comparable. I've had by far the least volume of plays that I've had this week. Like the last few weeks on the show, we've only had 2 plays instead of 3, which just goes to show how much tougher the market is getting. It's just that when you get later in the year, a lot of these roles of players gets defined. And it's just easy for books that have been setting these guys lines for 14 weeks now to just put out a more efficient number. And the more certainty that there is in players' roles is worse for the better. And it's better for the sports books. So, yes, it has gotten more difficult. And I expect probably will have my least amount of volume of the year during December. And then probably week 18 is the week where there's a little bit more uncertainty, and I end up having some more plays.
Well, we still hope you can find the edges to beat the player prop market today with the picks that you have. Like I said, 2 picks, but at the end of the show, we're also going to discuss Sunday Night Football. It is a really good one this week, so make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show for that. But let's get into the first play here. You bet earlier in the week on the Best Bet show on the New York Jets spread. And here we're going to the opposition quarterback, and you're going to be fading him a little bit. Walk us through that first play.
Yeah, Tua Tago. This is going to be a tough one for me. Tongue twister. Tagovailoa. Is that how we say it, Jason? Or Jason? Excuse me, Jacob.
All right.
It's early.
Tongue tied with 2 names here.
Yeah, it's early, man. We're going to go under longest completion. 34.5 minus 114. Now, this is the lowest that I would go to. The rest of the market, shop around. It's pretty much 35.5 at other spots. He has the lowest average depth of target in the entire NFL this year. You would be stunned to hear that, considering that fact that he has Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill still. He's 3 to 5 to the under year to date. So whatever, not a big sample size or anything. But one of the big handicaps is that the Jets without Sauce Gardner, like you would expect, like, all right, well, that's a matchup boost for the Dolphins. But what it's led to is last week when Gardner missed a lot of that game, the Jets came out of the bye playing by far their most amount of too high coverage. Now, without Gardner, I would expect that that's going to happen again. And Tua this year has a 2.4% rate of throws 20 or more air yards versus that coverage via Graham Barfield after a 10% rate in 2023 and a 15% rate in 2022. So Tua, since coming back from that injury, has been a guy that's just been looking to throw a lot of shorter passes, a lot of Devon Achane, a lot of Jonnu Smith. And in this specific matchup, it's just a matchup where we could expect that to continue. So I think the Tua under longest completion is worth a look.
All right, there you have it. That is the first play from the day. And before we get into a second play, a word from the presenting sponsor on the Forward Progress YouTube channel, the Fanduel Sportsbook. Bet the NFL season on Fanduel, America's #1 sportsbook. Fanduel offers a wealth of options, especially when it comes to player props. So if you want to have the most diversity with your selection, Fanduel is the sportsbook for you. And right now, all customers get a profit boost every single NFL game day. That means you can pump up your gridiron winnings multiple times a week. For Sunday, it's the same game parlay profit boost token on any game on the slate. FanDuel has tons of ways you can get in on the NFL action. You can bet on money line, spreads, player props, and more. Plus, with super simple live betting, lightning fast bet settlement, and instant withdrawals, FanDuel makes betting on the NFL easier than ever before. Just visit FanDuel.com/forwardprogress to download FanDuel today. Must be 21 plus and present in select states or 18 plus and present in DC. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for both offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. And for the second play here, I think this is the most anti-the hammer play you can think of. You're fading a Canadian player and you're fading one of Eager's guys here. Talk us through your second play. You got another under featuring here.
I didn't even think of it like that. But yes, we are fading the Canadians and we're fading the hammer on this one. Chuba Hubbard under 54.5 rushing yards. There is a 55.5 out there, but mostly 54.5. I would go down to 53.5 on this one. This play has gotten bet under from the opener by a service at 58.5, but I still think there's just a little bit of value left on it. Chuba Hubbard lost a fumble in overtime. I doubt there's any punishment for it. This is a guy that is a team leader for the Panthers, but you never know. Could maybe just a little bit more Jonathan Brooks based off that. But Jonathan Brooks has been getting more time anyway in his second game back last week, and he looked good. He forced 5 missed tackles on 15 snaps. Chuba Hubbard had a season low, only 57% of the running back touches in that game. It's a really tough matchup against an Eagles defense that since their week 5 bye, where they've went on this winning streak, they've allowed only 3.9 yards per carry. They've had a 65% success rate against running backs, and Carolina is a 14-point underdog in this game. So the rush attempts have been getting bet down on Chuba under, and I can't blame the market for that. I just think there's a little bit – Hubbard is going to be the top back for sure, but I think that market just a little bit of question marks about if Jonathan Brooks' role gets ramped up again, because it was almost nothing in his first game. In his second game, it got ramped up to where Hubbard had a season low in touches. Now it's the third game. Like, there is just a tiny bit of uncertainty in how much of a workhorse Hubbard is for this game and a lot of negative game script. So we'll go Hubbard under rush yards.
All right, there we go. Those are the 2 player props for the day. But we got a little bit extra for you guys. We'll talk about the Sunday night football matchup, a fantastic one this week. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. The spread here is 3.5 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. Right now, the time recording, FanDuel has the Chiefs at minus 118 on the spread, minus 104 for the Chargers, minus 210 on the money line for the Chiefs, and an over-under here of 42.5. Kind of crazy seeing the numbers this season on the Chiefs for the total. That's just the way the season has gone through. Now, typically, Hitman, you're a guy, when you see Mahomes under a field goal, you like to bet him. But what about when it's just over a field goal? What's your thoughts on the games? What's your thought on the game here?
Yeah, I haven't done much with this game, to be honest. The number probably actually feels right now, which when we get to week 14 of the NFL, Saturday, day before the game, the lines do tend to be efficient. Some of the props that I'm just looking at, I'm looking to see Isaiah Pacheco's role. Could possibly be a live play on Pacheco over, Pacheco under, Kareem Hunt over, Kareem Hunt under, depending how this backfield looks. My guess is that Pacheco's going to keep ramping up to break away from Kareem Hunt because there is a big talent mismatch between the two of them. But that's what I got for the Chiefs side. And then for the Chargers side, it's all about Ladd McConkey. How healthy is he? Like, this number is short. What is he at right now, receiving yards on the screen? I think high 50s at FanDuel right now. Like 62.5. It's still honestly probably a little bit short if McConkey is 100% healthy and there's a low risk of re-aggravation. But that's going to be the question with him. The Chiefs pass defense has been really vulnerable in recent weeks, as we've seen with Aiden O'Connell and Bryce Young having big games against them. So I'll probably end up having bets on this game because I do like when games have a little bit more uncertainty, and this game does have uncertainty on a lot of the prop markets, but haven't bet much as of now. Still trying to figure it out.
All right, so hopefully some decent information out there. Maybe some of you have some bets. Let us know in the comments what you're going to be betting on for Sunday Night Football and if you're going to be tailing these plays. And because I'm filling in for Jason, it wouldn't be a forward progress show without talking a little bit about fantasy football. I'd enjoy if Kareem Hunt still got a fair share of the load from a rush perspective. So that's your little extra fantasy football drop in case you missed Jason a little bit too much. But that has been the Saturday Prop Show on the Forward Progress YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. For more shows like this and for more from Hitman, please make sure you're subscribed to our channel and drop a like if you enjoyed this one, especially if you're tailing these Hitman plays. That deserves some extra support to the channel to bump us up in the YouTube algorithm. And for that Sunday Night Football game, we're live here on the channel for the watch-alongs, as we are for every primetime game. So hit the notification bell as well so you never miss out on any content. This has been Forward Progress presented by Fanduel.